Let's discuss gate questions that were asked from the topics of reservoir drive mechanism, volumetric calculations, material balance, water influx, and coning. This particular question was asked in GATE 2016. Let's see the question. The figure shows the producing GOR behavior with time for an oil reservoir under primary production. Initial reservoir condition, PB is the bubble point pressure of the crude oil, and PR represents the reservoir pressure at time T. Which of the following is true? Okay, over here we can see that my T1, as we have seen in my solution gas session in the reservoir drive mechanism, then I have seen that this would be above bubble point and this would be below bubble point. So the answer should be B. Let's move ahead. This particular question was again asked in GATE 2016. Let's see the question. A 30 feet thick gas reservoir has an area of 3000 acres. The porosity is given as 15% and coated water saturation is given as 0.2. Initial reservoir pressure and temperature are 2600 psi and 150 degree Fahrenheit. The compressibility factor at initial condition is 0.82 and the gas in the reservoir can be produced till it attains the final pressure of 1000 psi, where the gas deviation factor is given as 0.88 under isothermal conditions. We need to calculate the gas recovery factor. Okay, over here many of the data given is redundant in nature. We don't require most of the data since we have to find out the gas recovery factor, and we know that for a volumetric gas reservoir, we have this formula. Okay, we have derived this formula for a volumetric gas reservoir. Okay, since we have to find out the recovery factor, now from this formula, that is P by Z is equal to Pi by Zi 1 minus Gp by G. As we all know, the Gp by G is my recovery factor. Okay, so on rearranging the formula and taking Gp by G as the subject of equation, I got this. Okay, and now I have to place the values given in the question, and on placing the values my final answer would be 64.16%. Okay, it's a very simple numerical, but over here most of the data given are redundant in nature. This particular question was asked in GATE 2016. Let's look at the question. During a production test in an oil reservoir, the oil production rate is 200 barrel per day. The producing GOR is 800 standard cubic feet per STB and dissolved GOR is 200. The formation volume factor is the formation volume factor of gas is 0.01 feet cube per standard cubic feet, and the formation volume factor of oil is given as 1.2. Alright. Now, as we know, the producing GOR will be the summation of dissolved GOR plus downhole GOR. Now, producing GOR is given as 800, downhole GOR is given as 200. So, my downhole GOR would be 600 standard cubic feet upon STB. Now, since in the question my answer should be in reservoir feet cube per reservoir barrel, so what I did is that I multiplied by Bg and I divided by B0. Okay, on multiplying by Bg I will get RCF upon SCF, that is reservoir cubic feet upon SCF, and on dividing I will get my reservoir barrel upon stock tank barrel. So my final answer would be 5 reservoir cubic feet upon reservoir barrel. Okay, over here it's a very simple question, but we need to take care about the unit which is given, and accordingly we need to do the conversion. Alright, okay, now let's move further. This particular question was asked in GATE 2017. Let's look at the question. Which one of the following curves should a typical behavior of the producing GOR with time for a reservoir under solution gas drive should follow? Again, while discussing my reservoir drive mechanism session, I have discussed this particular concept and my answer would be D. Till this point will be the bubble point pressure. Okay, now as we can see that above the bubble point pressure, if I am plotting my solution GOR versus pressure, above the bubble point pressure my solution GOR would remain a straight line. Okay, and below GOR it will go down. Alright, now you can see that it is a straight line over here. We know that my producing GOR would be solution GOR plus the free gas GOR. Okay, now above the bubble point there will be no free gas. Okay, so it will be a straight line over here, and below the bubble point I will get both solution as well as free gas. That's why it is increasing in nature. Okay, and again this particular decrease is because saturation of gas is greater than the critical gas saturation. At that time only the gas will start to flow in the reservoir. Okay, decrease is because my saturation of gas has not reached till my saturation of critical gas saturation, and once my gas saturation reaches above my critical gas saturation, at that time I can see a definite increase in the GOR trend. All right, okay, so now let's move further. This particular question was again asked in GATE 2017, and it's a very simple question. Over here we need to have the knowledge of the definition of aquifer, acutard, and aquilutes. And aquifer, as we know, these are the rocks with sufficient permeability to conduct water into which water or CO2 may be injected. And the definition of acutard is slows down the movement of water and not good for water or CO2 injection. And the definition of aquilutes is evaporate rocks such as halides or anhydrite, retarding the upward moment of water / CO2 injection. Okay, so my final answer would be C. All right, okay, now let's move further. This particular question was asked in GATE 2018. Let's look at the question. The plot of ratio of pressure to the gas compressibility factor versus cumulative gas production for a gas reservoir is given. All right, now the student made the following statements. All right, now we need to identify the true statements. Okay, this is where P by Z versus GP. Now as we can see that if it followed this particular line, this would have been a volumetric gas reservoir. This would have been a volumetric gas reservoir. But since I can see a definite change in the slope, okay, that means I have a overestimated GIP. I have an overestimated GIP. That means this is, I am having some sort of a water encroachment. And as we know, as we have discussed in the gas reservoir material balance, this point, if it were a straight line, that means if it were a volumetric gas reservoir, then this point would have been my G. Okay, but since it is there is a definite aquifer support, I can see a deviation from the straight line. Now look at the options. First is aquifer is attached to this gas reservoir. Very true, yes. Second point is P by Z versus GP curve must always be a straight line for water encroachment. No, it's not. Okay, it's a wrong thing. It will not be a straight line for a water encroachment. Third is the ultimate gas recovery is diminished due to water encroachment. Yes, it's a true thing. So my final, that is my 1 and 3 satisfied the question. So option C is my correct answer. Again, why ultimate gas recovery is diminished? The reason I have mentioned is that the gas, now whenever I have some water drive gas reservoir, at that time there is high amount of bypass gas present because of water encroachment. As a result, my overall recovery factor in a gas reservoir with water drive will be less, and in my volumetric gas reservoir my recovery factor will be comparatively high. Okay, all right, now let's move further. Again, this is a very important question. You should have the knowledge of gas material balance as well as the knowledge of reservoir drive mechanism. Then only you can solve this particular question. Okay, let's move further. This particular question was again asked in GATE 2018. Let's look at the question. Assume that the viscous, gravity, and capillary are the only dominant forces for a fluid flow in a given reservoir. A cone formed around the perforation zone will break into the well. Okay, again in the coning, in the session of water and gas coning, I have discussed that let this be a reservoir. Okay, this is my gas cone and this is my water coning and this is my perforation. Okay, now let's look at the option. We need to find out a cone formed around the perforation will break into the well. Okay, and that means they are asking a condition of unstable cone. Okay, and unstable cone, again we have discussed in the session of water and gas coning, it is only possible when my viscous forces, when my viscous forces are greater than gravity forces, then only my unstable cone will be formed. Okay, so my answer is B, option B, where viscous forces are more than the gravity forces. This question has been asked in GATE 2018. Let's look at the question. In an oil reservoir, the current average reservoir pressure is below the bubble point pressure of the oil. The current oil production is 1000 meter cube per day, and the total gas production is 10⁵ meter cube per day at standard temp condition. The formation volume factor of the oil is 1.2 and of the gas is 0.01, and the dissolved GOR is given as 10. We need to find out the gas flow rate at bottom hole condition. Again, this is a very simple question. Let's look at the solution. We know that producing GOR is equal to my dissolved GOR plus downhole GOR. Producing GOR is, now to find out the producing GOR, what we will do is that we know producing GOR means my cumulative gas upon my cumulative oil, that is my produced gas upon my produced oil. Since it is given in the question that 10⁵ of the gas is produced at the surface and 10⁵ oil is produced at the surface, I can get my producing GOR as 100. Okay, so I found this producing GOR as 100 and I placed in the equation. So 100 equal to 10 plus downhole GOR. 10 is given. My dissolved GOR is already given in the question. So my downhole GOR is 90 standard meter cube of gas upon standard meter cube of oil. But since now we have to find out the gas flow rate at bottom hole condition, so what I do is I multiply 0.01, that is I multiply my gas FVF and I multiply my oil at the surface. Okay, now on doing that I will get my answer as 9 into 10⁵ reservoir meter cube of gas. Okay, this particular question was asked in GATE 2018, and let's look at the question. Which one of the following options represents the typical sequence of applying cutoffs for pay zone identification in a conventional reservoir? Cutoffs. In my volumetric calculation session, I have discussed about the cutoffs for net pay identification, and in that I had mentioned that for the cutoffs will be shale, porosity, effective permeability, and saturation of oil. Okay, in this particular question we need to identify the sequence of applying cutoffs. So the sequence would be, first it would be a shale, second would be porosity, and third would be the saturation. During this question you need to have the knowledge of volumetric calculation, and you also need to have the knowledge of my net pay cutoffs. Okay, and this thing I had mentioned in my volumetric calculation session. Let's move further. This particular question was asked in GATE 2019. Let's look at the question. Oil is produced at a constant rate of 10 meter cube per day from a reservoir for 500 days. The producing GOR is constant at 10 for the first 100 days. Then the producing GOR increases linearly, and on 500th day the measured GOR is 50. The cumulative produced GOR after 500 days needs to be found out. Okay, now let's look at the solution. Now again, as per the given data, my flow rate is 10 meter cube per day for 500 days. Okay, now if you need to find out what would be my cumulative oil for 500 days, multiplying 500 with 10, I will get my cumulative oil as 5000 meter cube of oil. Okay, now to find out my cumulative gas for 500 days, for first 100 days it has been given that my GOR is 10. Okay, and on multiplying my GOR with oil I will get the gas for 1 day, and for multiplying 100 I will get my cumulative gas for first 100 days. Okay, so for first 100 days my cumulative gas is this. Okay, now to find out what would be the cumulative gas from the 101st day to 500th day, that we will be using this particular concept. Okay, now again at the 100th day I have my GOR as 10, and on the 500th day my GOR is given as 50, and it has been given in the question that it will be increasing linearly. Since it is been mentioned that it will be increasing linearly, it will be safe to use arithmetic series. Okay, now using arithmetic series, my n would be 400 and my first term given is 10. Okay, that means at the 100th day my value of GOR is 10, and on the 500th day my value of GOR is given as 50. Okay, now using the summation concept, my summation would be n by 2 a plus l, where a is my first term and l is my last term. So that on placing the values, my answer would be 12,000. Okay, 12,000 of cumulative GOR is produced from 101st day to 500th day. Okay, once I have this, I will multiply by oil rate so that I will get my cumulative gas produced for 400 days. Okay, now on adding the cumulative gas produced for the 100 day plus the cumulative gas produced for 400 days, I will get my answer as 1,30,000. Okay, now I obtained my cumulative oil, I obtained my cumulative gas. Now to find out the cumulative produced GOR, I will divide my cumulative gas with cumulative oil. My answer would be 26. So this is how you solve this particular question. Let's move ahead. This particular question was asked in GATE 2019. Let's look at the question. In an active water drive, during a certain period, the rate of production and the reservoir pressure remain constant. The water influx into the reservoir from the aquifer is 6,000 barrel per day. Surface oil and water production rates are 3,000 barrel per day and 1,500 barrel per day, respectively. The current production GOR is 825 standard cubic feet upon standard stock tank barrel, and the formation volume factor at current pressure for the oil, water and gas is 1.375, 1.04 and 0.007 respectively. We need to find out the solution GOR, okay, at current pressure. Now in my water influx model session, I have discussed this particular concept where my water influx rate would be this. Okay, now what I will be doing is that now we have this particular formula. I will be placing all the values that is given in the question. Okay, now on placing the values, I can get my solution GOR as 810 standard cubic feet upon stock tank barrel. Okay, this particular question was asked in GATE 2020. Let's look at the question. Which of the following statement about gas and water coning in the reservoir is correct? Okay, now let's look at the option. The gas and water coning is characterized by a downward movement of water and upward movement of gas. Wrong. It should be a downward movement of gas and upward movement of water. Let's look at the second. The gas and water coning is characterized by downward movement of gas and upward movement of water. It's true. Let's look at the third. Gas and water coning improves the reservoir oil efficiency. No, it decreases the reservoir oil efficiency. Let's look at the option 4. Gas and water coning is caused when gravitational forces dominate over viscous forces. Again, it's wrong. Gas and water coning will occur when my viscous forces dominate the gravitational forces. Okay, so on looking at the option, only my option B will satisfy the correct choices. Okay, now let's move further. This particular question was asked in GATE 2020. So formation volume factor is given. Okay, and we need to find out which pressure ranges satisfies my we need to find out which pressure ranges satisfies my B0 versus pressure. Okay, again this is a very simple question and my option C would be the correct answer, where this 0.3 would be in the undersaturated region, 0.2 will be in the saturated region, and 0.1 is my bubble point pressure. Okay, let's move further. This particular question was asked in GATE 2020. Let's look at the question. A gas reservoir without aquifer is at 300 bar and 90 degree Celsius. The GIP is given as 10⁷ at surface condition. We need to neglect the formation and water compressibility. These are the given data, and we need to find out that if the reservoir pressure reduces to 100 bar under isothermal condition, the total volume of gas at surface condition produced from the reservoir is dash. Okay, we need to find out what will be the total produced gas. Now let's look at the solution. As we know that for a volumetric reservoir, my initial condition will be having this G into Bg. Okay, and at current condition would be this. That is, after producing Gp gas, this would be the remaining volume at current condition. Okay, now on equating both the tanks, I will get my Gp as G into Bg minus Bgi upon Bg. Okay, now we know that Bg or gas formation volume factor is volume of gas at the reservoir divided by volume of gas at the surface. Again, we know from the gas law, my PV is equal to ZnRT. Okay, now on placing that, I will get my Bg as Zt upon P at reservoir divided by Zt upon P at surface. Okay, now using this concept over here, my Gp equal to G into 1 minus Bgi upon Bg. Okay, now I place this particular concept over here. Whatever values is given in the question, I put in the equation, and on placing that, my final answer would be 6.46 into 10 raised to 6. Okay, so this is how you solve this particular question. Now that's all for today. Thank you and Jai Hind.